One. It is I, Chastity White Rose, and I'm doing another stream. I call it Chastity's Chess Challenge. I'm going with the CH sounding things. So this is Chastity's Chess Channel, where I do Chastity's Chess Challenge. Because it is a real challenge to say all those CHs. Actually, that's not why. Chastity's Chess Challenge is actually two different things. The first challenge is that you can challenge me in chess. You can totally challenge me in chess. Anyone can challenge me in chess while I'm streaming or otherwise in correspondence games. You see, I have decided to make chess be the main focus of my channel. And the reason I decided on chess, of all the games in the world, why chess? Well, chess is a game I'm highly skilled at. And even though I love Tetris, don't get me wrong, I love Tetris. The problem with Tetris is that it's so fast-paced, and it's nearly impossible to have a stream where you respond to comments in real time, because your entire concentration is used when you're playing Tetris. That's how it is. I achieve a flow state with Tetris, and I love the game of Tetris, but with chess, you have different time controls. It's a turn-based game. Chess is a turn-based board game, and you can set different time controls. Everything from bullet chess, where everyone has a minute on the clock, or, then there's blitz, where you have maybe 3 to 5 minutes, or rapid, where you have about 10 minutes, and then classical chess. Then what I like about classical chess is that it's like 25 or more minutes is considered classical chess, if I understand correctly. So I usually go for 30-minute classical chess games. And if you look at my ratings on chess, on Lichess, I also play on chess.com, but Lichess is like going to be my main chess platform for online chess playing. You will notice something about my ratings. My ratings for rapid and classical, especially classical, are much higher than blitz. Why do you think that is? Well, that's because I lose the games on time. When I play blitz, I lose on time. It takes me too long to think, but I want to make the right moves. And if I win by thinking fast, that's great. But I hate to lose just because I'm out of time. Because chess is a game that requires thinking, and whoever came up with bullet chess, I'm sorry, but they were an idiot. That's not good, because how do you think about the good moves, especially if you're a new chess player, if you're rushed? People never make good decisions in a hurry. It's just not, unless you're Magnus Carlsen. Look, if you're Magnus Carlsen and you have less than 10 seconds and you can think in fractions of a second of what the best possible move and analyze every possible piece and how it could move on the board in less than a second, good for you. I'm not that person. I'm not the world chess champion. I wish I was, but what I can be, however, is I can be the world champion of transgender chess. Yeah, the best transgender streamer of chess on Twitch. That I think I can do. Because the best streamer is no doubt Levy Rosman, known as Gotham Chess. He is the best streamer. He streams on Twitch. He streams on YouTube. Man, that guy is the internet's chess teacher. Levy Rosman, Gotham Chess. Gotta love that man. That man's mind is beautiful. I just gotta say it. I bought his book, and I bought some of his courses on chessly.com. This man really knows his stuff. So listen to Levy Rosman if you want to hear the advice of the world's most famous chess coach. However, if what you are after is entertaining chess games with creative commentary, and comedy, then you've come to the right place. Because when I was a kid, I said I wanted to be a comedian, and people laughed at me. But no one's laughing now. I am funny sometimes, but it's always when I'm trying not to be funny that I end up funny accidentally. It's the fact that I'm autistic and I say things. I say crazy things and I make my mom laugh every single day. Just something I'll say. So anyway, story time. Okay, so before I begin playing chess, I always like to start out with a story. So last night at work, because I work at Walmart, I work overnight stock at Walmart, and it so happens that Dre, one of our newest employees, he also plays chess because I'm always talking about chess and comparing life to a game of chess and talking about my favorite chess openings. I'm a chess nerd. There's no doubt about that. So I found out Dre plays chess, and we've actually become pretty good friends. He followed me on Twitch, in fact. So if Dre happens to see this video, a shout out to Dre. Dre, thanks for the follow. And I look forward to when we get a chance to play chess, because I can teach you not only the greatest ways, platforms to play chess online, definitely like chess, but there's another app that I like to use too called Chess by Post. I'll have to show you sometime because it's pretty cool. So Dre and I, we were talking, and we've had conversations in the past, but so, because Dre when Dre found out that I'm 36, I'm about to turn 37. This coming Wednesday, because tonight's Saturday, and this coming Wednesday, May 15th, is my 37th birthday. And people tell me, you don't look that old. Some people think I'm in my 20s because I'm apparently good looking. At least some people. I don't know. But anyway. So he's like, "What's your secret, man? Like how are you so young looking?" And so I told him, well, for one thing, it's probably my vegan diet and the fact that I'm single, because relationships will stress you out. He couldn't help but agree. Nor could anyone else who was around. There was also somebody else there. But then that was a previous conversation we had on a different night. But last night, man, I had a good talk while we were stocking things real fast in A12 and A13. Lots of canned vegetables, pasta sauce, a lot of good stuff. We were talking about things, and so Dre asked, well, how come you've never dated anyone if you're 36? And I'm like, well, Dre, it's kind of complicated. But there is someone that I think I fell in love with. And so I was telling Dre about the person that I have feelings for. Yeah. And I explained everything. I explained how this person is the one who turned me into a Swiftie and introduced me to a lot of Taylor Swift music. Someone who is pro-life and vegan, and someone who I definitely have feelings for. And Dre told me a story. He told me about how there was a girl many years ago that he really, really liked. And he never told her. He just never told her. And he now wishes he did. He wishes he had. Because, there's that regret of what if. There's that regret. And that's the thing about it, is he encouraged me to tell them how I really feel. And that's the thing. It's important. It's really important. And I'm just going to come out and say it. I just only need to say this once, but Anastasia, I really, really like you. and I really don't know what to do about it. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it changes anything or not, but I really, really like you. You're pro-life, you're vegan, you're very smart and educated, you have a degree in biology, and you even play chess, and you're just all around the person who has the most in common with me, more than anyone I have ever met. And I just have to say it. And that is just the truth of it. So, with that being said, only you can decide what that means for you, Anastasia. Only you can decide that. But I had to say it. I just really had to say it. And I had to say why too. And if you want to, we can talk about that sometime. I just had to say it. So that's the thing. That is the message of my new friend Dre, who also plays chess, is that if you really like someone, you should tell them. You should totally tell them. And don't wait. Don't wait until it's 10, 20 years later and they're in a relationship or married to someone else and you never told them. Don't live with that regret. Don't do it. So that's Dre's message to me last night. And that's my message to you out there. And I think this is actually really relevant to my chess stream, in fact, because what I do is I talk about chess, but I also talk about LGBTQIA issues. I want to educate people and explain so many things. Like just a few things as an example is that, first of all, being gay or trans is not a choice. If it were a choice, nobody would choose it because the sexual harassment, losing employment and housing, being rejected by your friends and family, that's the sacrifice you have to make. That, my friends, is the Queer's Gambit. The Queer's Gambit is a joke that I made based on the Queen's Gambit. But it's more than that. The Queer's Gambit is what you sacrifice to get an advantage in the game of life. Because yes, you lose a lot. You could lose your friends, your family, your job, your place to live. And I've lost people. I've lost people. The one person I haven't lost is my mother. I love you, Mom. She still loves me. And I'm getting emotional now, but that's just how it is. But, I have lost other people and I have lost opportunities. And I feel like I lost any hope I had of having like a romantic relationship, of finding someone like a spouse, because I'm broken in many, many ways, very broken. And the fact of the matter is, when you are transgender or when you're gay, your chances of finding a relationship really, really drop. They really do, because most people, they want a real man or a real woman, whatever those things mean. Nobody really knows what a man or woman is these days. I certainly don't, obviously. But what I do know and what I do believe is that it's possible to love someone for their soul, for who they are, not what parts they were born with. And I believe that I am capable of loving anyone. The only trouble is, would anyone ever feel the same about me? That's what I often worry about. That's what I think about. And there are some things in life that are not within our power to do anything about. But I've tried and I will continue to try. and maybe I will have a happier story to share later on. And I'll keep you updated too, because I plan to continue to stream and entertain people with my Twitch stream for as long as I live. That's one thing I plan to do. There is something else I plan to do, something I started working on tonight. I want to write a chess book. I want to write a chess openings book. I want to write a book that covers very, very briefly the chess openings that I have had the most success with, why I recommend them, the strengths and weaknesses of them. And there are opening books out there. And there are other general advice books, like Levy Rosman's How to Win at Chess is a great book. But as he said in the book, it's not an openings book. He does mention a few openings that he recommends to people, but it's not a book about openings, because each chess opening, you can write an entire book on every single chess opening. And there are some very, very key chess openings that I want to include in my book. I want to include the Queen's Gambit, the King's Gambit, the Scandinavian, the London system. There's a lot of chess openings that I am learning about. And I'm going to keep learning more. So I have started writing a little bit. I wrote an introduction for a chess book that I eventually will publish. But I also, if you go to chastitywhiterose.com, then you can read my recent blog post. In fact, let me just type in the chat here. Okay, I'm going to type in the chat here, chastitywhiterose.com. Okay, there we go. There's the link to my website. I pay for my own website. That is where my WordPress blog is. And I paid for my own domain name because chastitywhiterose.com was not taken. And you better believe I wanted to claim that domain name. You better believe that. So that's important to understand. Now, anyway, now that I have talked about my deepest personal feelings and my love for my mother and Anastasia, now it is time to get into some chess. It's time to explain chess openings, to play a few games of chess, to relax before I go back to working on my schoolwork, because I have schoolwork to do. I am a Full Sail University student, and I have physical science class, so I have some schoolwork that I have to complete tonight. So, with that being said, I'm going to play a few games of chess. So but there's one more thing I need to talk about before I begin playing the chess. Sorry, I have to mention this. You may notice something a little bit different about the way things look. You see my camera, which is cropped into a perfect square and grayscale mode as usual. But you may notice a different background image. We have the Light Chess logo in the bottom right corner, which is a symbol of a knight. We have a rainbow background, and there is this little gray square, which my camera is inside. Now, where did this image come from? Well, you see, what happened is lightchess.org has a streamer kit. They have a streamer kit. So what you do is you download a zip file off of their website. Anybody can download it. And it has some images. It has the logo. It has two different background images. One is the rainbow, and one is like a gradient of between black and white and shades of gray, which is really, really cool. It's really cool. I chose the rainbow for obvious reasons. I mean, because talking about LGBTQIA issues is definitely something I do. And also, don't forget, I also have the progress square that I made. This is the progress square. You see the progress square there? That is an image that I made. And I'm gonna like use that image. So whenever I'm not showing my camera, I can turn that image on or off. See how I can do that? And if I turn off my image, then you just see this square as empty. And also notice the chat. Notice the little chat box there. So I type if I type something in the chat, it shows up. So literally anything I type. So let me type something. Okay, yeah, okay, there we go. I love you, Anastasia. I told you I had a blank space that I would write your name in. You know what I mean. Blank space, the greatest Taylor Swift song ever. Because you know I love the players and you love the game. Definitely recommend Taylor Swift as a musician. Definitely recommend Anastasia as a pro-life and vegan activist. Definitely recommend. And definitely recommend Live Chess as a great site to play chess on. Now I've said it all. I said everything I needed to say before I begin the chess. So now I need to set up the chess. Okay, I'm going to set up the chess here. So, but what I want to do is I can switch to desktop mode. I can totally switch to desktop mode like I've done before, but I want to do something different this time. I want to do something very, very different. If I just go to desktop mode, then the text of the chat tends to conflict with what's on the screen, so you can't see everything. So what I actually need to do is I need to do a little bit of setup work first. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. First I need to set up a source. I need to set up a source here. So I'm gonna go to the analysis board. Okay, so I'm going to the analysis board on livechess.org, and now I need to set up my source. So let's create a source. Let's see. Let's see. Do we want to do window capture or okay? Game capture doesn't work with Microsoft Edge, so we're gonna do window capture. Okay, there. Okay, we have a window capture. There we go. You see, now you can see what's on my screen there. You should be able to see that. So now you see how I can move this around. So yeah, so there we go. So what I need to do is now you see this. However, but you see how there's a conflict there. The text conflicts with the other things. So here's what we actually need to do. What we actually need to do is I need to crop this. So I learned something from my professor in my portfolio class. What I learned from my professor, Caustic Phoenix, is that if you hold Alt, you can crop a source. See how I can do that? I can crop a source. So if I crop the source here and I crop it to the chessboard, you see how to do so? I'm holding Alt and then I'm trying to crop the chessboard. I need to fit the chessboard just perfect. So if I crop the chessboard from the web browser page, yeah, okay, you see how this works? And see, when I do that, it does that, but when I hold Alt, then it crops it. So now I am cropping the chessboard image. This is going to be so good. This is going to be so good, guys. This is why OBS Studio is the best. OBS Studio is the best streaming software because it makes everything so easy. And I never knew. So I have options here because now I have a square of my chessboard. It's perfect, and I can resize it as necessary. But there is the issue of where to put it. So if I put it here, it's going to conflict with the chat. So you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to put the chessboard inside my square here. Yeah. So there we go. There we go. Now we have the chessboard inside the square there. And this way, the chat still appears. The chat still appears. There we go. So now, anytime anybody chats, it will show up on the right side on top of the little rainbow background, but above the horse image there of the Lichess logo. So I have the chat in the perfect spot. I have the chessboard in the perfect spot. I am set, guys. It's time to play some chess. That's what I'm ready to do here. So let me now begin playing the chess. Actually, this is the analysis board, and I need to show you a little bit of analysis here. So the Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit is definitely going to be the first opening that I include in my book. The Queen's Gambit is the most famous and popular opening, but as a chess player and as a brand new chess coach, I'm going to explain the Queen's Gambit in a depth that I've never explained it before. So, the Queen's Gambit happens when first both white and black play their queen's pawns 2 squares forward, and then if white moves this pawn, the c1 pawn, and moves it to c4, it's the Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit is a really freaky opening. It's because it's different. Most people play King's Pawn 2 spaces forward on the first move, but the Queen's Gambit has a lot of different things you can do with it. So if black accepts the Queen's Gambit by capturing that pawn you give them, then what you do is you just move this pawn 2 spaces. So now you have 2 pawns in the center here, and that means both of your bishops can move. And having both of your bishops mobile gives you a huge advantage. So you're more likely to win if black accepts the gambit. So that's just a fact right there. But if something different happens, what if black declines the gambit and doesn't take that pawn, but instead defends their pawn here, so that if you capture this pawn, then they will capture your pawn back. Keep in mind, though, this is not necessary because, first of all, they could capture it with their queen if you did capture it. So they don't really need to do this, but this is something you'll see. A lot of times people will try to use either this pawn or this pawn, the other pawn, either this one or this one. They will try to put it to defend this pawn. If this happens, well, then here's something that I like to do, and I recently came up with this. I call this the Queen's Gambit, because now it's getting freaky, because now you're giving black a choice of which of 2 different pawns to take, and they're not going to take this one. They're not going to take this one because they know you'll just capture their pawn with the bishop next turn. So what they're going to do is they're going to come here and take this pawn. So this is a very weird position. This is a queer position because it's a very weird thing to just give somebody a free pawn like this and not be able to capture it back. Well, at least you can't capture it back yet. You can't do it yet. So, but what's going to happen now? Well, because black accepted this gambit, they don't have to, but they most likely will. Then what you do is you get to choose your next move. So a good move I would recommend, well, there's several good moves. That's the thing is there's so many good moves, I don't even know where to begin. Um, so you could, for example, just move this pawn here, which of course black could take, and then you could take it. That's something that could happen. That's only one example, but there's also other things that could happen. You could also move, a bishop out here, all kinds of things. But just for right now, let's see what happens. So what happens if this pawn advances? Then that means that we will have given black another pawn. Black captures that pawn as well. So now we've lost 2 pawns. So you might think, wait, what's the point of this, Chastity? Why would you just give black, your pawns away? Why lose your pawns like that? What's the point of this? Interestingly enough, you can't see this on the stream, but I see this on the side. It says French defense dire dumb gambit accepted. Interesting. I don't know what that means, but anyway. So now we've just given black the opportunity to capture 2 different pawns. So here's where it's very strange. So now what do we want to do? Well, what we want to do is we could either capture this pawn with this pawn or with the queen. I would recommend doing it with the pawn, but doing it with the queen might be a fun thing to try. So now we have a situation here. Both sides have the option to move their bishops out. So black can move out their bishops and attack you. They can do that, but there's not really a good attack yet for black to do. But then black, there's all kinds of things. This is a very unusual position to find yourself in. So let me take a guess at what black is most likely to do. What I think black is most likely to do is they're most likely to try coming down here with the bishop and putting your king in check. That's what they're most likely to do. But there's 2 good responses for that. One response is to put the bishop in the way. The other is to put the knight in the way. And which you choose kind of depends on which piece you're willing to lose, because odds are no matter which piece you put in the way, they will probably capture it. There's also the option to just simply move the king here. That's another option. However, that's probably not a very good option because then you block the bishop and the queen from moving diagonally. That's not a good position. If you want to live dangerously and you want to do that, great. But if you want to actually go on and win the game, that's not what you do. So what I would do, because my preference is to keep my knights, I am going to put the bishop in the way. So then if black takes my bishop, then I capture it with the knight. Or do I? Do I capture with the knight or with the queen? Because there's a trade-off. Because if I capture it with the knight, then yes, I'm attacking this pawn. But then at the same time, that gives black an opportunity to capture this pawn here. So with that in mind, maybe capturing with the queen is a better option. It's probably a better option because I don't want to lose any more pawns. I've already sacrificed pawns. So now what's black most likely to try to do? Well, this is where it gets strange because black doesn't have any attacks because now the white queen has moved. So this bishop, it doesn't have anything it can attack, and it's not about to come here because then this pawn would just take it. So now what's black going to do? Well, black is probably going to move out their knights. Why are they going to do that? Well, that's because they want a castle. They want the option of castling anyway. They can't move this knight here. A lot of people want to move their knight here, but now they can't do it, see, because now there's this annoying pawn in their way. They can move the knight here, but keep in mind that means that then the bishop can capture it. So what black is most likely going to do is they're probably going to come down here with their knight. And then white still has to think of what kind of move to do. So this is where it's strange because this is one of my favorite things. So if white comes here and puts the king in check, well, that's going to be a little bit weird. That's going to be very, very strange. Because I mean, see why this is the queer's gambit, though. This position it leads you into, because like, come on, guys, this is weird. Because they can put the knight in the way, but they're not going to sacrifice the knight. They can put the bishop in the way. That's probably what they'll do. But there might be somebody who decides, you know what, I'm just going to block with the pawn. They might do that. But then we have this pawn here. So now here we capture with this pawn. And then here we have this. Yeah, we have, yeah. So now black has the option to capture with this pawn, which the most likely do. Sure, they can use the knight, but they lose the knight. So they'll probably capture with this pawn. That's probably what they're going to do. Now we find ourselves in a very unusual position here, because white has the option to trade queens right here. That's totally an option here. We can trade queens, or we can wait and let them decide to trade queens with us. But here's what I think I would probably do in this situation. I'm going to come here and capture that queen. And so if you look at this, black obviously is going to want to capture the queen back. But this also means that now black can't castle their king, because now the king has moved. And now there's no queens to complicate the game. And this is really funny, because if you look at this situation here, each side has one bishop, two knights, and two rooks, and a king. And they both have, one side has 6 pawns and the other has 5 pawns. White has 5 pawns because remember, it sacrificed an extra pawn in the queer's gambit. That's probably why that is. So now this bishop is under attack here. So let's move the bishop somewhere a little bit more safe, like right here, partly because it attacks this square here. So it's attacking this pawn. Now, of course, black can defend this pawn by either moving the king to here, or by moving the rook, and they may do that, but why waste a rook move when they can start moving other pieces out? So just as an example of what they might do, they might come here with this bishop, and then if I were to capture their bishop, then they would capture back. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, put the bishop right back there. And then if my opponent, this is a fictional game that I'm making up because I am playing both sides, keep in mind. If they come here, then I capture back, and I've opened this up. So now this rook can get into the action. That's a trick I learned from Levy. I learned that from Levy in his video on the oneness system, and I have videos of his courses because I bought his courses too. So he's used that example before of getting that rook out there. So, but the whole game is weird because now black can't castle. They're going to want to try to get things out, but now there's this pawn in their way. The knight can't go there, and it can't go there. It can go here. Yeah, it can totally go there. Yeah, that's probably what it'll do. And then I'm going to bring out my knight here. And this is just where it gets so strange because, black may decide to bring this knight here, and they can do that, but there's just no good position for black that I can see. Because now we can attack this knight, and now where's the knight going to go? We can go here, or it can retreat to here or here, So yeah, there's just nothing good. Probably the knight will probably just go back to here and then plan another attack later. And then there's this annoying pawn that hasn't moved. But see now what happens is now I can capture the pawn. So now white has captured back the extra pawn that it gave up earlier. This is the strangest chess game I have ever seen. And I think that's because I used the Queer's Gambit, which is a chess opening that I just completely made up. And I do hope that everything is going well with my stream here. Let me check. I don't have anybody watching or commenting right now, but so far everything seems to be going great. The chessboard, the perfect background. This is actually super cool. So anyway, so now black is still going to try to think of an attack, and there's just no good attacks here. There just really aren't. So, black will probably try to come. It might put the king in check here, and it can do that. It can totally do that. And then, yeah, now this king can't castle because it will have to move. So that's kind of unfortunate. So yeah, so come here. Yeah, the black will capture that pawn. That's fine though. That's really fine. It's not even really a problem. And then white brings out the knight, and then black starts attacking the other knight, and just strange things happen here. So what actually happens in the game? Who knows what's going to happen? But let me just finish this game out the way that I think it might turn out, because this is fun. I'm playing with myself. I'm playing chess with myself. That's what I'm doing. Wait, this knight has nowhere to go. Look at this. This knight has nowhere safe to go. But there is the problem that this rook can capture this knight, because that was left unguarded. But then we will take this knight. And then what's going to happen? Like, this is equal. The material is pretty equal, which makes sense because I am playing against myself, and I am of equal skill to myself. So it only makes sense that I would be winning and losing at the same time. This is actually really funny, because trust me, guys, it's going to make more sense when I play a game with another person who doesn't know what I'm going to do necessarily. Yeah. In fact, you know what? This is dumb. Let me get to playing an actual game, okay? I'm gonna play an actual game with a real person. So let me go to a quick pair. I am going to go to quick pair, and I'm going to do a rapid game because I often lose blitz on time. Rapid, I think I can handle rapid better. Okay. So let's see here. I am going to play Queen's Pawn. Okay, there we go. They also do Queen's Pawn. So then I will do the Queen's Gambit. What will they do? Will they accept? Ooh, they ignored the Gambit entirely. They just flat out ignored it. Okay, they're attacking my knight, and you guys know I don't like losing my knights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this knight to protect it from being killed by this bishop, which means I did block my own bishop, so this is unusual. This kind of thing doesn't usually happen. But now I'm going to try the Queer's Gambit. This is probably a really, really bad idea, but I'm going to try the Queer's Gambit now. This is funny. I am doing the Queer's Gambit here, but it's different now because now we have this bishop in the mix. So it's worse than I thought it was going to be because now I have this bishop here. So the bishop or the pawn could take this. This is a very strange game. I kind of put myself in a dumb position. If I was trying to seriously win the chess game, I probably would not go for the Queer's Gambit. I would probably do something entirely different. But this is what this is. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to okay. I'm going to move my queen right here. That's what I'm going to do. Put the king in check. See what they do. What are they going to do? This is most entertaining. Okay, this is completely freaky and weird. So now we've got this going on. We got all this stuff here. Yeah, guys, I have no idea what I'm doing in this game. But I think the goal of this opening is partially to confuse the opponent. I think that's kind of the goal. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get even freakier, guys. I'm going to sacrifice another pawn, and then the bishop will probably take this pawn. They're probably going to do that. Okay, they did not do that. That's a little weird. That's very strange. Now let's get this other pawn out here. Let's chase after this bishop here. Let's try it. This is ooh, okay. That's very strange. So now let's bring another piece onto the board here. Let's put this bishop. Wait, no. First, we need to deal with this. Let's move this forward. Let's just move that forward and cause a little blockade there. We don't want that rook getting out and causing us problems. Okay, well this is awkward. This is really awkward, guys. I think I found out playing the Queer's Gambit is not a way to help you win the game. It's really not a way to help you win the game. And neither will you get any advantages in life if you come out as queer. You will probably lose your family, your friends, your home, your job, everything. So just letting you know. So do it because you enjoy it, not because it helps you win. Okay, yeah, this is freaky. I don't know. Can I still win this game? I'm behind 2 pawns of material, and I haven't captured anything yet of my opponents. Okay, guys, this is dumb. This game is dumb. This game is so dumb. This is funny. This is really funny. Oh man. Yeah, like this is the dumbest game. This is funny. Oh, okay. Now, yeah, oh, okay. I'm in a bad spot. I'm in a really bad spot, guys. This is horrible. This is the absolute slaughter. This is horrible. This is horrible. Ah, this is funny. Yeah, I messed up on this, guys. I totally messed up on this. Well, gotta move the king again, I suppose. All right. This is horrible. This is absolutely horrible slaughter here. Okay, well now let's try. Okay, let's try. I can't. Yeah. Okay. Okay. First, let's defend this bishop here. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This game is so stupid. This game. I probably am gonna lose this game, but let's continue the game. The clock is ticking, and there's only so much time, so the game is guaranteed to end. That's the thing. So now, with all of this happening, what can we do? All right, I'm going to wait. Oh, I see what's going on here. Let's attack the queen again. Let's attack that queen. Oh, the queen moved. It's kind of freaky. Well, this king is in danger. It can't just stay where it's at. It can't do that. So let's move this king back to relative safety right there. Let's try this. Okay. That's, I mean, that works. Hmm. What am I gonna do about it? That's the question right there. I don't know what I'm going to do about it, to be quite honest with you here. This is just a very dumb position that I find myself in. It's extremely dumb. I'm just going to move this rook right over here. No particular reason. I don't have a plan. I got nothing going on. And see, now this pawn is right here. It's messing me up here. So let's put this in the way. The pawn can't advance anymore. What's going to happen? What's going to happen here, guys? I've lost almost all of my pieces. I'm probably going to lose this game. This is funny. Now, because of the setup that I have right now, you can't see my opponent's name or rating or any of that stuff. So if I was to wanting to show that, I would probably just use desktop mode and show everything. But yeah, this is so weird. So now it's time to start getting things out here. Ooh, that's a little bit strange. Well, okay. Anyway, I'm going to capture this pawn here. Might as well at least capture a pawn, right? It's not like it hurts anything at this point. Well, a game I'm about to lose anyway. Oh, wow. Just wow. What else can I say, guys? This is the worst chess game I've ever played in my life. I'm so glad I'm streaming right now. I'm actually a lot better of a chess player than this, but I invented the weirdest opening, an opening so bad that it confuses you more than it confuses your opponent and makes you lose a chess game. I should probably include this in my book as the opening that you don't want to play. Yeah. That's it's funny. It's really funny. But how will this game end? How is it going to end, guys? Ooh, that's a little strange. Okay, so now, yeah, let's capture that pawn. Let's capture the pawn. Okay, so now this is where it gets crazy because we have options, but I'm running out of time on my clock too, so that's a factor. Okay, I'm going to capture the pawn. Okay, then I'm gonna capture that knight. Okay, that's pretty freaky. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna capture the king. Well, I mean, I can't capture the king. What I'm saying, what I can do? Yeah, there we go. Now you see, I'm going to capture the queen. Then the king captures back. But see, now um, I still have my queen. So I'm going to find a way. Yeah. Oh man, I got 2 minutes and 40 seconds on my clock, but I just captured my opponent's queen. That was just a clever fork. Okay, well, okay, what do we got going on here? All right, well, okay, gotta do something here. Gotta think fast now. Totally gotta think fast. Oh man. Oh guys, this is great. This is the stupidest game I have ever seen in my life. This is really stupid. Okay, that's so odd. Okay, now let's advance this pawn. Let's advance this pawn now. Oh, this game is funny. This game is just great. What's my opponent gonna do? What are they gonna do? Oh, okay, that's a little weird. I guess I just wasn't expecting that. Okay, so now I'm going to come here and do something stupid. Okay, I'm going to capture the bishop. I'm sacrificing the rook. Levy Rosman would be proud. I'm gonna send this game to Gotham Chess. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, so now we got that. Now I'm gonna capture this pawn so that pawn can't become the next queen. I don't want that happening. That's for certain. I'm gonna give it all my focus, guys. I'm gonna give it all of my focus. All right. First, wait a minute. We're gonna put a stop to that right there. Yeah. Defend the pawn. Okay. Oh, I see how this is. I see how it's going. Okay. There we go. Put the king in check. All right. Then capture the knight. Sacrifice the rook. Put the king in check again. Capture the pawn. Oh, guys, this game is so stupid. I swear this game is so stupid. I have less than a minute on my clock here. This is ridiculous. I have 56 seconds left on my clock. Okay. Capture the rook. I just captured the rook. I did it, guys. All right. My opponent just offered me a draw. Like, really? Why would I draw when I'm about to win? Yeah. All right. Check. 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 All right. Check. There we go. Guys, I just lost. I lost on time. Guys. Oh, guys, you gotta see this. You gotta see this. Guys, you have to see this. This is too fun not to show this whole screen. Look at that. White timeout. Black is victorious. I ran out of time. I lost the game. I was so close to checkmate. I was so close to it, guys. And this is why this is a perfect example of why my rating is higher when I am playing classic chess, because when I play rapid or blitz, I lose on time. So, with all this being said, I if I hadn't been talking and explaining and trying to teach, I probably would have won that game, but I was trying to explain. I came so close to winning. So you know what I'm going to do, guys? Since I'm sharing the screen now, I'm going to finish this game computer. I'm going to finish it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go here. I'm going to continue from here. Play with. Let's set to the highest level stockfish. I'm playing as white, queens, but I'm playing against stockfish level 8. So now, there we go. Then 2 moves, checkmate. I was 2 moves and just a few seconds away from checkmating my opponent, but I lost on time. And that, my friend, is why you should play classical chess, not rapid blitz, and certainly not bullet. I have no idea who was hit in the head with a bullet that made them decide to create bullet chess. I don't know, guys. So what you just witnessed was the worst game in all of history. The worst chess opening, the Queer's Gambit that I invented, and I thought I was gonna lose, then I thought I was gonna win, and then I lost on time. Guys, that was the perfect game. That was just the most freaky game. Seriously. Oh, and you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I know what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do here, I want to go back to the original game. Let's go. I'm gonna go to my profile and I'm gonna go to my games, and I'm going this rapid game where I timed out. I'm gonna get the link here for you guys, and I'm going to put this link right here. Go to that link. You will be able to view the game. You will be able to see exactly what happened. But before I end this stream, because I have been going on for an hour, before I end this stream, I am going to review the game myself. Let's back it to the beginning and see what happened here. We're going to just review and see what happened, what went right, what went wrong. So here we go. We had the Queen's Gambit. Black declined it by just moving the bishop. I moved the knight out of the way. Then they declined it with the pawn. I put the Queen's Gambit. Then they did that. I put them in check there. Then I attacked that bishop, and nothing was bad so far. But then I neglected something. I failed to notice they could capture that pawn. So then they captured another pawn. And here I had defended this pawn. And here's where I messed up, guys, is that by moving this knight when it was attacked, which was a good thing to do normally, I took away the only defense and I let black come here. And from there, it was just complete slaughter. They just kept slaughtering me, putting me in check, and I lost everything. But then fast forward, here's the thing is, I had this fork here, and I captured their queen. And they made a mistake. They should have captured my queen, but instead, they let me have my queen. So I was on track to win, guys. I was totally on track to win. But then, I was running out of time because you can see I was running out of time. So then I was thinking fast and I was so close. I was so close. Yeah, yeah. This was dumb. And see, my opponent did a good job of they kept getting out of check, and even though I had two queens, I couldn't checkmate them fast enough. So that's what happened, guys. I lost on time, even though at the end I was close to winning. If this teaches you anything, guys, if you have learned anything, from watching the worst chess game in the world, then let it be this. Remember, play classical chess. Classical chess is where having an advantage position can actually result in you winning. Because if you lose on time, all of your good thinking and moves don't help you one bit. And I am not a fast thinker. I am deeply autistic and analytical, and I like to analyze the moves I'm making. I like to take my time, and I like to explain it. And that's what I do. I stream and I explain chess principles and other issues of LGBTQIA, because there are people very interested in hearing this stuff. If you take, for example, my previous stream, I had 2 new followers in one stream last time because of what I was talking about, and people were interested to listen. So I'm going to end the stream now, and then I'm going to get back to working on my schoolwork. But thank you to anyone who does listen to this recording, to watch and listen. And that was an epic chess game. It was like a roller coaster. I thought I was going to win, then I thought I was going to lose, then I thought I was going to win, and then I lost. On time, of all things. I'm not Magnus Carlsen. I can't think in a fraction of a second. It takes me too long. But if you ever play an over-the-board game with me and there's no time limit, you should be afraid. Be very afraid, because I'm actually pretty good normally. But under the pressure of time, maybe not so much. So, with all that being said, it's time to end. Now keep in mind, you can watch my Twitch stream at this link here, and you can challenge me to a chess game on Light Chess anytime. So please do that. Challenge me on Light Chess, and also chess.com, because I use the exact same username, Chastity White Rose. Challenge me and let me know. Please do let me know if you found my profile because of this video. I would be very happy to know that you watched my video. Thanks for watching, and as I always say, be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes!